The Wellness Show, episode 435.
As a child living here in Kentucky, I was introduced to a lot of things that people don't even have the imaginings that exist here. There's a lot of groups like the Shakers,
Mm-hmm.
which people aren't familiar with. Most people aren't familiar with who they are. The Quakers,
Yeah,
the Amish and the Mennonites,
yeah.
and the Pentecostals. Well, they all call it religion, but they all have commonalities of dealing with the spirit world, with what is beyond physical. And I began observing and receiving and hearing the what was called at that time the speaking in tongues from the time I was 4 or 5 years old, and always had a connection to that. And over my life have always received very clear, audible, spoken and vocal, like singing messages from
Did that
beyond
come
physical.
naturally to you?
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
it was never. I spent a lot of time alone, all my growing up, and it was just there, always present. And I
right.
never questioned it as anything odd or crazy. I never spoke about it to a. I did a few times to my great grandmother, and at one point she told me I was going to go to hell. I was going to burn in hell if I didn't stop that shit, that kind of thing. Anything that's off color here in Kentucky, it's you're going to burn in hell. So
Right.
all that kind of. She told that to an 8-year-old, the 8-year-old me, that I was going to burn in hell. So
That
you
was
can
really
imagine.
helpful. Yeah.
Oh, absolutely. But they see that's what it is, the blessing and the gift in it, because the reality is you have one of two choices. You can either shit your pants scared and stop all of it, or you can dive more deeply in it.
Yeah,
And I
absolutely. I
chose
get that.
and I chose to do the latter.
Yeah.
And so my life, fast forwarding, I got into the awareness of vibrational perception, because everything that is beyond physical is vibrational. There are no languages. There is no limitation like language.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so everything is vibrational. It's about perception and awareness, and all you need to do is focus on something, and the awareness of it comes to you. And so because you're holding the vibration of it, there it is. That's exactly how it works.
So you're talking
And
about the
so
basis of manifestation then.
yes, it is. Just hold the vibration of it, and it will be made manifest.
Right.
I have, in the last 2 weeks, very openly and verbally spoken to people about, hey, I'm working on getting this things out here, and you're a perfect example of that manifestation, because I haven't talked to you in a long time, and the very thing you wrote me today is, hey, if I can help you get your message out there. And when you sent me that message, I just said, oh, thank you. Thank you, universe. You're listening. I know you always are. And so it's just that once we decide
Yes.
something for ourselves, the universe then conspires in favor of it by bringing the things to manifest it. So, I went to Brazil. I learned how to speak Portuguese through vibrational perception, because I can't say I read perfectly well, but I don't read and comprehend well at all. I don't receive anything from reading black and white type on a page in a book. So I taught myself how to speak Portuguese and a whole series of other things that were introduced to me. Fast forward in
Let me
2005.
ask you, does that mean that all written things are difficult for you or not the way you receive information?
I don't receive, because it's just black and white, on a page,
Yeah.
and many times there's not a lot of vibrational intention accompanying it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it doesn't
Resonate with you at all.
it,
Okay, got it.
it
Yeah.
doesn't it doesn't it doesn't I don't receive anything from it,
Right.
because even though it's written there, I'm expecting to receive something vibrationally from it. And to do that, I would have to totally go into the perspective of what my brain can receive. And I don't know the last time I was ever there,
Hmm.
for a long, long, long time. And so yeah, but I mean, I can literally sit with someone, a person. That's what I do in one-on-one sessions, and ask a few very simple questions to occupy their conscious mind as far as answers, and then I can ask their soul self to come and be present with me and assist me at receiving what needs to be received for that person. It's just like right now, what's right in front of me are a whole series. I don't know if you saw this post of these. Um,
Yes,
these
I think
are
I did. Is that
okay.
the latest graphic or that you posted or no,
This,
that's a little,
yes. Well, I posted a sneak peek
yeah,
of three of them,
yeah,
and I have 31 of them in front of me. And these are all, each one as unique and individual as they can be,
yeah,
but each one is a vibrational expression from a light being that has come here to assist humanity in coming into a greater awareness of the reality of who we are as human beings. And this is part of what I'm going to be doing on Sunday. I'm going to take all of these pieces with me on Thursday morning and travel to Natural Bridge State Park here. And these are going to be placed on top of the bridge with myself and two other people. And we're going to be there receiving from that beautiful portal of the equinox on the 17th. And I've told that to a couple of people. Say, well, the equinox is not until the 20th. I said, maybe Google says it is,
mhm,
but the moon set and the sun say it's on the 17th. And people are going by what Google says or what something else on the internet says. But I have an app. I mean, anybody can have it. There are apps for the moon and the sun movement. And on the 17th, there'll be exactly 12 hours of day and 12 hours of night.
right,
For me, that's the equinox. In my
yeah,
family's um, observances of the being Native Americans, we know it as the day that the moon is, that there's an equinox. There's an equal amount of day and
yeah,
light, day and night. So yeah, I've always held a greater awareness of things vibrationally, and it has assisted me greatly due to the beginnings of my journey here in my young life, where there was a lot of what most people would call very insane things occurring. I was abandoned by my biological mother at 10 months of age. Basically, she packed up her things and the two older brothers' things and put me in the floor of the kitchen of the apartment where she lived and left.
wow,
And just decided I was going to either survive or die, or that's why I always look at things. You have the choice. We have this beautiful gift of free will, so we can either choose to succumb and consider ourselves the victim of something and fall apart in it, or we can then very beautifully do the opposite, which is call upon all that is within us and ask of it to come forward and show us the way. And
yeah, I
there's
love
because
what you
there's
just said. That's so powerful. I haven't heard it expressed that way, and so thank you for that. And that's what I really am teaching people. No, actually, not teaching anything. I'm helping them understand that for their own self is how to take back
mm,
their personal power, how to stand in their truth,
yes,
how to
yes,
show up and
yes.
deliver it. And you just eloquently described it so well. You know, you can either be eaten by the demon, or you can either see the crisis is overwhelming, or you can see it as the biggest blessing and teaching that you could ever receive, right?
Because then you get to call upon all that you really are, not
Exactly.
just this physical form. And oh gosh, I'm falling apart.
Yeah.
You can realize that there is such a great power, and that's part of why we're seeing the world the way it is today,
Yes.
because humanity speaks of oneness, but they speak of oneness as a singularity and not oneness, or I refer to it as wholeness, They don't see the wholeness as its integrated form.
Right.
Every single thing in nature, on this planet, in this universe, is a part of the whole. A tree in the forest never, if you could ask it, and you can, would never refer to itself as the tree or a species of tree. It only knows and only holds its awareness of being a part of the forest. And that's why it's so powerful,
Mm.
because it can constantly call upon that forest to be with it, and and be the whole. And humanity has allowed its ego self to become so evolved and become so distant from even the awareness of that perspective that we have the world that we see now. And it's like, people want to scream and yell about Putin over there. He's just a reflection of the collective.
Yeah,
He is
absolutely.
showing everybody who they are, exactly what he's doing. People are clinging with all that they have to old paradigms
And
and the old
believing
ways,
the old paradigm to be true, right?
and believing it to be true. Well, what is Putin doing? He wants the old USSR the way it was. He's just a reflection of everyone else's messages that are sent out there. And to then again, there you go. To then deem themselves the victim of what he is doing, what he might do, all this kind of stuff, is just insanity. Well, at least for me,
Yeah.
it's insanity, because
Yeah,
there
because
is.
collectively we've called that down upon ourselves, even though we may not be aware of it.
Exactly. And well, and that's what the work is about, is opening up that awareness. Say, hey, you know, look in the mirror.
Yeah, look in the mirror.
Look in the mirror and ask yourself, what is, if I'm pointing a finger there, take that finger and stand in front of the mirror and say, what about that is actually right here?
Hmm.
What am I doing that mirrors that? If I want to blame that or whatever that is, and I'm not just talking about Putin, I'm talking about anything.
Right.
If I want to blame that instead of going within myself and seeing what it is that I'm doing to manifest that, that's why we see the insanity we see in the world today.
A reflection
And
of our own insanity.
and humanity, because it is now, it travels at such a distant place from the alignment with that awareness of all that resides within us all, within us human beings, within the earth, within nature, within every animal, with every aspect of nature and the earth and the universe, because humans are the only species in the universe that walk a path so distant from the awareness of that. That's why people feel so vulnerable, feel so much fear, feel so much uncertainty or instability, and then they go to the mind to try and figure it out, and then the shit really hits the fan,
Right.
because the human mind, where the ego resides, is the most unstable aspect of the human.
Yeah,
And
absolutely.
it's,
It'll just tell you stories.
oh God, yeah, and the crazy stories.
Right.
And the crazy stories will tell you, it's like, no, come together. That's what the breath of one is all about. This is the greater message that I am receiving to share with the world, is the breath of one. It is 7 moments of gathering. I'll call them that. It is first a practice of the breath of one practice itself, where each person present connects with the breath of the next one,
Hmm.
to really feel. That's why I would love it. I've done it on Zoom a
Yeah.
couple of times, and the response has been really incredible.
Yeah.
But I can only imagine what it'll be like in physical. But it is an interconnected breath, where each part, instead of an individual breath, becomes the one breath of the whole.
That
And
sounds
when
sort
that,
of like Huna. That's sort of like Huna healing and breathing.
I don't know. I've never heard what that
Oh,
is,
it's
but
just like Huna healing. it's literally getting everybody to breathe together, right? And that
Hmm.
breathing together then has certain sounds that's created, and you're creating the mana inside, and you're building
Hmm.
it and building it. And what the healing happens is in the center, the people that need the healing or the thought form is in the center. And then by
Hmm.
building this mana and building, then you release it collectively to the center. And so all this energy that's been built this way goes that
Hmm.
way.
Hmm.
Anyway,
Oh, well, see, there that engages the mind.
yeah,
That engages partially the mind. This goes beyond. This goes beyond the response that most had was after we finished. Oh my God, I could feel the vibration of the earth itself.
wonderful.
Everyone said the same thing without hearing the other one respond. I could feel this wave that was just going through all of it. And they couldn't even come to words to explain what it was. And I was like, gotcha. You went beyond
That's
your
really why
mind.
I've reached out to you is exactly what you just said, which I didn't even know that you did, except I knew when you said breath that we needed to talk. And I knew
Yes,
that it had connected to the work that we're being called to do in the gathering
yes,
of the eagles, which is 12 around one, bringing
yes,
us to the field and then being informed by the field, call it source or God or whatever. And the
yes,
divine guidance that comes through is so powerful. But adding
yes,
that breath to it, right, is a
yeah,
somatic awareness at the cellular level of the process as well. So I think and see how that could be so, so powerful, right?
yeah. Well, what it does is it takes those who are journeying somewhere else
Yes,
in their individual ego self and brings them back to the integration of the whole in its integrated form.
right,
And when they feel that power that suddenly runs through them, anything else that they were ever afraid of just falls away. Therefore, disease falls away. Therefore, mental, emotional disturbance falls away because that power is there.
right.
Why do? Because humans have loads and loads of viruses and humans get sick, right? Animals have all those and more and don't get sick. Why? Because they don't live an egocentric, individualistic life or journey. They are constantly holding the awareness of the whole. So they call upon that power. And what the virus ends up doing for them is upgrading them
Right. It becomes
and
part of
allowing
the
them.
evolution.
Yes, because I mean, it's even been explained scientifically that if it weren't for retroviruses like HIV and other things like that, humanity wouldn't be able to procreate.
Yeah, that
It's
makes
part of
perfect
the
sense. I mean,
virus.
it's our upgrading. It's sort of ironic. The very mechanism for our upgrading of our DNA is demonized, right?
Yeah, well, that's purposefully because science is aware of this,
Yeah,
and so are governments.
yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, yeah, that aspect of it has really reached a pinnacle, if you want to call it. It's reached an extreme place, but that's why I myself and I have a group of other people that I've spoken with, each one in a different place. We are all very aware that within months now, there is going to be what some people are calling the shift or an event, or that what we refer to it as, though, is a revelation.
Right.
There is going to be a revelation about all of this, the reality of how all this realm works. And people are going to be able to receive that and integrate that fully, and then turn and look at government and go,
We don't need you.
wait, you're irrelevant now.
Right.
We're irrelevant now. And the beauty of that revelation is there'll be no war about it
I
because
love the
the
fact you're using the
revelation.
word revelation. I've heard fifth dimension, ascension, equation of areas, turning of the ages,
Yeah,
Armageddon, but I have never heard that term. I mean, I know
yeah,
I'm familiar with that term, but I love what you're saying.
yeah,
Revelation, it will be revealed both
yeah,
individually and collectively. There will be no
yeah.
doubt There will be
Mm-mm.
no
There'll
question.
be no spin put on it. There'll
No,
be nobody in the media going, "Well, no, it wasn't that. It
no.
was blah."
I look
Well,
over here,
people,
over here, over here.
exactly. There'll be none of that. It won't be possible.
Yeah.
It will be of such clarity. The revelation will occur in a 72-hour period of time.
Yeah. Well, I've been
And
told, and others too, that one morning you'll wake up and the world will be different. That's just the way it is.
yeah. Oh, it's going to be, yes, that's going to be part of it. But what will happen is on a physical world perspective, not an interdimensional one, because suddenly there'll be no other dimensions.
Mention.
It'll all
Wow.
be right here.
Yeah.
And the revelation will occur as if, or if you had to visualize, it will occur as if suddenly we had 72 hours of daylight. At first, I thought, then my mind kicked in, tried to kick in there and distract me. And I thought, oh,
We
you
just
mean the
had
sun's
thunder.
not?
We just had thunder.
There you go.
In the very
There,
moment you said that, we just had thunder.
the confirmation.
Exactly.
Yeah, so I thought, oh, well, you mean the sun's not going to set? Is the earth going to stop rotating? And my head tried to figure that out. And as soon as I let that go, I said, no, all of the light of all that is will be present here.
Wow.
So the planetary movement won't change, but the light will be so immense and so omnipresent that there will be no moon. The moon will still be going around the earth, all those things, but the light will be so brilliant for 72 hours. And the beautiful thing that'll happen is, depending upon your awareness as far as who you really are at a soul level and the reality of who you are, apart from all of the blah, blah, blah we hear out there about who we are and things like that, the reality of who you are, the quicker it'll happen. There will be those who will experience it as 72 hours, as this 3-day long, holy shit, kind of thing. And there will those who will experience it as if it were a blink of an eye. It
And
will
that's
be
what the
just,
Eagles is all about. That's the story of the Eagles, or why the gathering of the Eagles. And I'll just drop it in just for a sec, if I may, to bring your world and my world together just a bit. This was written by Menno Pauls, The Gathering of the Eagles, the late 60s, early 70s. It was guided through Melchizedek, he calls him Mel. And he was sent on a mission around the world to follow his guidance and show up in various places. He had no idea, say, why he was going to Germany. He's told, get on a plane, go here, go to this, you'll meet
yeah,
people. And you need to tell them about the Eagles. And what you're talking about is, what he's talking about is this time of revelation that you're talking about. And that
yeah.
the Eagles are those that understand that this is about to happen.
Mm-hmm.
And because they know that it's going to happen, those that are in the 72-hour period or whatever length, who are in fear or don't know what's happening, the eagle will be there to assure them that that everything is okay. They're in the midst
Yes,
of transition. The other part of that story, which is interesting, is biblical, is the message is, tell them not to look back, like Sodom and Gomorrah.
yes,
What
yes,
was
yes.
is irrelevant, right? Don't
Gotta
look.
let go. Gotta let go of all that you think you
Yes,
know.
yes,
Let go of all of it. Well, see, that's the beautiful spectrum of response that will occur.
yes,
There'll be those who will try and cling to that, like if it's a river of wisdom, they'll be clinging to the rock that
yes.
they think they know as reality, or the branch, or the something, instead of letting go
Well,
of all of that they think they know and just getting into the river and flowing with it and
and
moving
that's what the
forward.
Mayans say. They say push off from the bank and go with the flow of the river, right? That's the Mayan
Yes,
prophecy.
because that is one of the gatherings in the retreat structure of the Breath of One. It's a class called the Fluid Soul, and it goes in depth at expressing and explaining how the soul is a fluid state. It's only this human state that we live on a linear timeline, minute to
Right.
minute, second to second, all these things, all of these pieces and parts. And that's why we tend to look back, or we stress about what might be coming, and all these different things, where the fluidity of the soul is just like the flowing of the river. It is constantly experiencing the now moment wherever it is, and the power of that. And it doesn't hang on to anything that doesn't serve it, or doesn't, doesn't allow for its continuous fluidity.
So there'd be no story then.
I'm sorry?
There'd be no story.
No, and there is no such thing as, there's a part of the expressions in the gatherings that say truth is a prison of the ego, because truth is nothing but an observation at a place you've stopped in the road. And if you're calling that truth, meaning the absolute of what is, when you're missing all the rest that's out there.
All the rest of it. Yes, absolutely.
Yeah. So it's about, and it's a hard concept for human beings to grasp.
Well, it has to do with surrender, and we're not very good at surrender.
Yes, and because we're taught to build our existence upon pillars of something. And
it's difficult. I mean, when I teach people to take back their personal power, stand in their truth, and bring it down, like you said it, in a way that was, I didn't get it in a way that you described, was so beautiful. Bring all of your multidimensional reality into this moment and stand in your truth and speak that truth and command it to be so in your I am presence, and it must be so. Now, it's all right to have everybody in that level of awareness, and God bless empaths, they need to be in that. But now the next step is, now you got to get on your bended knee and surrender and give it all away. That's
instead of standing in a truth, surrender and flow with your reality.
Yes, exactly.
Flow with your reality. That is, because we do, you're exactly right. We do have to get people there.
Yeah.
And then let them just let go.
Yes, exactly.
And flow with their reality. Let go of truth, let go of belief, whatever that is that you formed in your mind. Let go of all of that and get into the river and flow with it. But see, that's what will make that step forward easier, is this revelation.
Right.
Because suddenly everyone will hold the awareness of how it all really works.
Yes.
And how it's so safe to let go and have fun and joy and laughter and brilliance and all of those things, instead of all the fear and the uncertainty and the what if and that humanity has been in for so long. That humanity has been in for so long. Well,
so James, what do you think will trigger this? Do you think it's the 100th monkey, the level of consciousness that we arrive at collectively? Do you think it's divine intervention? Do you have any precognition about what will trigger this?
Yes, it will. See, I've never found a word about how to say what happens, but I can explain to you how. There will be enough of us who have aligned ourselves with the awareness of all that we are, that our spectrum of what we are aware of has broadened so immensely that the light has become so great that the flower will just have to open.
Okay, got it. I love it. That's such a beautiful image. Thank you, James.
Because right now it's in that tight bud, and it's like wanting to burst open. That light will be so intense that we're no more holding back. It'll just
right,
and all of the beauty will be revealed, because the reality of our awareness is that love is not the most powerful energy we have in this world. The most powerful thing we have here is beauty. Because it is in the witnessing of beauty that we experience love.
Well, yeah, that's amazing. The flowering image is so powerful. When I was in ballet, I happened to be coming down a series of stone steps, and one of the flowers right beside me burst open. And it wasn't just like, it wasn't gradual. It was like, boom. And there it was, right? It was just, it's like, whoomp. And that's
amazing. Yeah. Yes. And suddenly you go from this probably green or some colored, more less descript, I won't say nondescript, but this less descript thing, to suddenly this just brilliance,
Yeah,
this
just gorgeous,
absolute,
absolute beauty.
yes. And in witnessing that, that feeling is love.
Yes.
But
Okay.
it was in the witnessing of the beauty, because there's a beautiful story about the coming of beauty in this realm, meaning here on this earth and in all of the planets and the universes and stars, the whole place. So everything that exists here in this three-dimensional realm is first vibrational. And there are beings that are collecting the vibrational alchemy for its existence here. So they have to get all of the elements in place so that that expression, that vibrational expression, becomes possible in the three-dimensional realm. So there were beings, there is the story of creation and how things were created, and then, you know, religion and science have been in this war forever about who comes first, or the chicken or the egg, or all this kind of stuff. And what they don't realize is that because they're stuck in their egos, both religion and science, that they're both fighting over two sides of the same coin. Religion, if it allowed itself, could express the vibrational aspect of what's occurring, the creation part of it.
Mhm.
And then science can express to you what's happening after it's made manifest here in the three-dimensional realm.
Right.
So there were a group of beings responsible for the manifestation of beauty in this realm. So the earth was evolving, and things were beginning to grow, and microscopic beings and all this kind of stuff. And all of a sudden, there appeared a flower here on the earth, but it didn't thrive. So I guess they went back to the drawing board, if you will, and made a more powerful flower, a more vibrational flower. And it was made manifest here, and it bloomed, but it didn't thrive again. It had seeds, and the wind and all those kinds of elements were there. Well, this process went on and on and on and on for quite a while. And suddenly other things had evolved, small animals or other types of beings. I feel like that they were interdimensional beings that were present here on the earth. So suddenly just the elements kind of collided, they did this kind of thing. There was the flower that was born again, and suddenly there was something there to observe its beauty.
Oh.
And because that seeing of the beauty and the feeling of the love, then the flower thrived.
Wow. So that's what maintains that vibrational frequency at that level then.
Yes.
Wow.
Yes. Why are flowers in usually involved in every act of love that we know of?
Right.
You want to give somebody flowers. I mean, when they're arriving, there's flowers. When that same human being is leaving the world, there's flowers. And so many moments in between. It's because of the vibrational power that they hold.
Right.
And it's because we see, what does namaste mean? But I see you.
Right.
I see you. I see you for all that you are. And that first being that was present to observe that flower could see the flower for its beauty, beyond its colors and shape and possibly fragrance. It could see its beauty and witness that, and feel that love. So that it's like the flint and the rock.
Mm-hmm.
That spark happened, and the flame was born. The flame of beauty, the light of beauty was born here. And that's how all things are made manifest here. There is a vibrational intention held. When it's written in the Bible, God said, "Let there be light," and there was light, and it was good. What most people don't realize is that light that was being referred to is us. We are that light.
Right.
We are that light. We are the portals. We are the portals of expression of all that is. And we are like the seeds. The seed shows us the teeny tiny seed or even just the acorn that can grow into an oak tree. Well, that oak tree is not in there.
Mhm.
That acorn is the portal for its
Right.
expression. And given the right, right earth, right temperatures, right water, amount of water, and all the things that need to be there, out comes the expression of the oak tree. And we are those same portals, and that's what the revelation is all about. We hear so much about the new earth, and the new earth will be manifest here because it will be expressed to us and through us as us. So that alignment with all that is possible and all that we are is crucial to this occurrence. And so there's kind of full circle. Once there are enough of us, and we're almost there, that hold that awareness and are expressing things like you and I are expressing right now, that energy will just be present, and all of a sudden it'll be like that rock and that flint, and
Right.
that flame will come to light, and we'll just see it everywhere.
I think
And
you've offered a real blessing for some people, particularly, let's say, those like myself that love the earth and understand eco-spiritual dowsing, that connection between, and the
mm-hmm.
fact that, so many, what would I call it, deep psychology or deep ecologists are concerned about the concept of ascension, that humans are so busy thinking they're getting off this planet or that they're going to another dimension, that they're ascending. And what you're saying is no, the beauty will be expressed on this, in this beautiful world that we already inhabit. We'll be
Mm-hmm.
enlivening the earth and all of its inhabitants. We'll be bringing it back to its divine glory, its original divine blueprint,
No,
which
wait,
wasn't
no, we won't.
going anywhere. We're
No.
not abandoning the mother. We're actually becoming one with who she truly is.
Yes, but we won't be going back anywhere to any
No.
blueprint that once existed. There's a new blueprint coming, and
Aha.
it's a fluid one. It's ever changing, and I'll explain to you exactly how it's going to happen. We have been made aware that we have once had this linear vertical chakra system, right?
Mhm.
Well, that is even no longer part of what will be in this after the revelation. Our chakra systems will turn into, and I've got a painting that I'm into something like this,
Oh, wow. Okay.
a central chakra
Yeah.
of the golden light of the creator of source, the white of the soul self, and then all of the layers of color. And anything that we draw in two dimensions as a circle is actually a sphere.
Right.
So our chakra system will become spherical. And so there, and you, if you can know where it is in the body by running down your sternum all the way to the end, and there's this dip.
Yes.
And right at that dip, into the dip, there's a point, there's a bone that's there, that's a
Right.
point.
Yeah.
That's where the chakra system will be centered. It's not the heart chakra, and it's not the solar plexus either. It's
Right.
between there. It's right in that place, and that'll be the energy center right here, and it will constantly vibrate out. And what will create the new paradigms and the new expressions of the new earth is when, for example, and back up just really quickly, the chakra systems won't be a fixed color. They'll be fluid, of course, not like the things used to be. They will appear and express themselves due to the vibration that we hold. Whatever vibrational intention we're holding, that will be the layers of that spherical expression. So what will create the new earth then is every time the spherical expression of one of us comes in contact with the spherical expression of another, it's like red and blue making purple.
Wow. Okay.
It's that's how the new earth, there's nothing that will be any part, even that beautiful divine blueprint, all of that is done. All of those things are done. There will be such a quantum field of an explosive quantum field of possibility that can I share something on the screen?
Sure, absolutely. I'll just give you all the power.
Right.
Just give me
I'll show
transfer the
you.
power here.
I'll show
All
you
right,
an image of
there you
what
go.
that looks like. There it is. That's a depiction of the quantum field of possibility. So each element, each elemental stone has a vibrational signature.
Hmm.
Each stone is interconnected with a golden thread of life. The very center, again, being the source of all it is, and the script that's in this image tells the story of this occurrence. Now, it looks like this only because that's the canvas that I had to
Right.
paint it on. But if you can imagine this being infinitely expressed, just going on forever, that is the reality of what will occur. And it will occur because everything is interconnected again. And it draws upon the energies and all that is. And Sat Noah is from my own people of my origin. It's the expression of what we would call the whole.
So you say, so Noah is the people of your origin, so that's an extraterrestrial? Is that?
No, we are a star people. We are from here in this painting that's behind me.
Yeah.
We are from Nabayo,
When you
and
say
we
we,
are
you mean your tribe?
my people. Yeah, my
Okay.
people. We are from Nabayo. We are from the Senetian galaxy. Nabayo is a star.
Yeah.
It's an interdimensional star, and it was at that up until very recently at the edge of the universe where the passage between dimensions is. But now all of my people have come here to the earth. The millions of us, amongst millions and millions of others, they're all here now because of this occurrence. And that's why I'm receiving all of this with such clarity
Right.
and such ease, because I was telling some of these stories to someone I had met recently a few months ago over in Nashville. And he kind of stopped me at one moment. He says, "You talk so matter of factly." And I kind of looked at him and I said, well, it's a reality for me. He's like, oh. Because, I thought, and then I thought to myself, well, what does he think? I'm making up a story to tell him right here? And that actually came to me at some point yesterday. I thought, wow, there are some of these things, like even these things that I'm doing right here, that are challenging for people to grasp as a reality. That within an expression of colors and forms on a pendant, that there can be a vibration held here, and that vibration can serve as a tuning fork of where I need to vibrate. And I'll tell people, if you look at something and suddenly something hits you here and you feel, it's because that's your note to sing.
Right.
So bring your note, sing it, and join the choir.
I love it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Part of the sound healing I do is I call it set your soul song free, right?
Yes, yes, yes. That's beautiful. Yeah, get that voice tuned up, and let's all join the choir and sing together, and sing from the soul, like you just said. Yeah. Well, the creator stands up there and guides the orchestra, and
Right.
just the song that's being played, and brings all the instruments together so that they can sing their song. Interesting you speak to 12, because that painting I just showed you, each row of elements is a row 12.
Yeah, I was busy trying to count. I think I got 13, but obviously I wasn't counting properly. Quickly.
There's because it's a spherical form. If
Yeah.
there's 12, I'll bring it up again. There's 24 in total.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
In each row of crescents, each layer.
Yeah.
And it's interesting because you have to see this as the very center is the place of birth,
Right.
or it's like the drop of water. in the drop in the water and the ripples out.
Right.
And in the more they're present, the more expansive they become. That's why in the very center they're smaller, and as each layer goes out and out and out, there it's like the ripples. So in each layer of ripple of energy, a wave of energy, there are 12, and the very center here there are 12. There are a council of 12.
Right.
Yeah, that make up the part of the aspects of the whole. Hold on, I can't type and talk at the same time.
Some of
Let
us
me
are
go.
limited, even though we're multidimensional, right?
Well, when we come into the 3D matrix of doing things, it becomes complicated because
Exactly. Especially for us.
we're used to something more fluid.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, thing that bothered me on this planet is how come I can't walk through walls?
Hello. Why do I have to open the door?
Exactly. You got
I
it.
think did you get it there?
Yeah, I did.
Alignment life
Yeah.
11
Thank
at
you.
gmail.com.
And your website.
Well, it's the same.
Okay. Yeah. Okay.
www.alignment. There we go.
All right. So I'll send you some connection stuff for you to take a look at. And then I suggest we
Wonderful.
get back together and talk about next steps.
Yes.
James, it was a
Yeah.
pleasure. Thanks for showing up in my life. I'm glad that we were
Oh,
brought together by spirit or our higher
yeah.
selves, or however you want to word that. Truly a
Yeah.
blessing.
Same here. I feel the same. Thank you for your presence.
No, thank you for being you.
Because-
Yeah. Remember, all we
Thank
have to
you.
do is show up.
Yes, because it's already all there. Just
Exactly.
this is what I say many times. It's already all there. It's just awaiting our arrival
That's right.
for
Yeah.
the party to start.
Yeah.
Right?
I like parties. All right. Bye for now.
See you later. Take care.
All right. Bye-bye.